policing procedure in New York continues to draw controversy this week as thousands took to the streets to protest the NYPD's Stop and Kiss program. The policy, which allows officers to kiss anyone who they think looks suspicious, has been the subject of criticism from those who say it's a violation of privacy and a potential breach of constitutional rights. New Yorkers who've been stopped often say the encounters feel extremely intrusive.
Going through my pockets, throwing my stuff on the ground, kissing me on my neck and face. They push me up against the wall and start nibbling on my ear. It's humiliating.
It's something you learn to live with at this point. Every time I go out and I see a cop, I'm ready for him to come up, ask me questions, and give me a little kiss, just because, the color of my skin. I mean, you don't see them kissing any pretty white ladies out here.
In his last month in office, Mayor Bloomberg has continued to defend the practice, saying, quote, "This program helps keep New Yorkers safe. If someone is suspected of a crime, officers should be allowed to question them and leave them with a small and reasonable kiss on the mouth." Joining us now is legal analyst Susan Hughes and Mark Brennan, a former police officer who has defended the Stop and Kiss program. Susan, does this policy go too far?
It does, Rachel. Look, it's one thing to kiss someone who you think might commit a crime, but these officers are just kissing people left and right with no probable cause.
If you've got nothing to hide, then it's not a problem. They just stop, ask where you're going, give you a gentle kiss or two, and let you go.
I am not saying that the police shouldn't be able to detain people and kiss them, but it has to be done in a colorblind way. I mean, the fact of the matter is 9 out of 10 people who are kissed under this policy in New York are black and Latino.
Yeah, that's because officers are kissing people in high crime areas. These kisses aren't racially motivated. The police are just doing their job.
But Mark, there have been examples, public examples, where these procedures have just gone too far. Let's take a look at a disturbing cell phone video that's been making the rounds on the internet.
Stop! Put your hands on your head. Oh, come on, man. They just kissed me 2 blocks ago. Come on, man. I didn't do anything.
Shut the f*** up and let me kiss you.
This is happening every day.
But some argue this is just the unfortunate reality we live in. Tighter security at airports, sporting events, kiss points in Washington, D.C. Commissioner Kelly said, quote, "This is what post-9/11 police work looks like. Honestly, if we could kiss everyone in New York City, we would. We just don't have the manpower."
Look, the cops can either kiss people now before there's violence, or they can be kissing a bunch of dead bodies at a crime scene.
All right, well, thanks, Mark and Susan. It is a complex issue. When we come back, a new health study finds that eating McDonald's at the airport doesn't count. The Republican Party has struggled with the youth vote in recent elections, but now there's some good news for conservatives. A new Gallup poll found that the GOP has an overwhelming advantage among young people who look like old men. The poll shows Republicans hold a solid lead among the coveted elderly youth demographic, including 18 to 24-year-olds who wear suspenders and bow ties to class every day. I'm joined by Republican strategist Rob Powell. Rob, these are pretty encouraging numbers for the GOP, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, it's very encouraging. Millennials who look like they're permanently dressed for boat trips are a rapidly growing segment of the population.
And according to the survey, the prematurely aged are also very politically active.
Absolutely. Only about 20% of young people vote overall, but there's almost 100% turnout among youth that dress like a dad from a 1950s sitcom.
Now, what about the criticism that the GOP only appeals to white men?
Not true. We also have a lot of support among sorority girls that wear pantsuits and pearls, paunchy Chinese college students, and we're making inroads among African-American ham radio enthusiasts.
So what is it about the party that is so attractive to young buzzkills?
19-year-olds with comb-overs know we share their interests and values, like standing behind podiums, wearing American flag pins, being louder than other people. These are the things that are important to millennials who look like toddlers that crawled into a rapid aging machine.
Republican leaders must feel pretty optimistic about the upcoming midterms.
They are. But we can't take these moon-faced man-babies for granted. Candidates are going to keep reaching out to them on social media, holding campus get-togethers with free Snackwells and cream sodas.
And of course, there was also some encouraging news for the Democrats. The poll shows that they continue to hang on to their own key demographic of adult men who dress like teenagers.
It's going to be an exciting race.
It is. Good insight as always. Thanks, Rob. Next up, the giant garbage island in the middle of the ocean makes a bid to host the 2024 Olympics. The Department of Health and Human Services issued a new report this week indicating that the leading cause of death in the U.S. is God needing another angel. According to the study, God's continuing lack of souls too beautiful for this world accounted for over 700,000 deaths in the U.S. in 2013. A spokesperson announced the findings this morning.
For years, death was a seemingly random force, able to take us at any time via thousands of terrifying causes. However, we now know that mostly it is because our loving Father needs more angels to live with him forever in heaven.
Other common causes of death, according to the study, include God having a plan for us all, it being someone's time, and the Lord working in mysterious ways. Secretary of Health and Human Services Kathleen Sebelius noted that these statistics won't decrease until God decides he has enough sweet baby angels to help him paint rainbows in the sky, but urged all Americans to check their website for warning signs that they or a loved one might be at risk.
We've exhausted the numbers of all the deaths over the past 20 years, and the truth is irrefutable. We will see 100% of these people again very, very soon.
The in-depth report also broke down death by demographics, saying that most gregarious overweight Americans died because their hearts were simply too big, and 100% of murderers finally got what's coming to them. Next up, the Icelandic government completes its brand new Bjork habitat. Images of destruction are flooding in, and the worst isn't over. Experts warn that Hurricane Ashley could strike as many as 8 bars throughout the day. Her Cinco de Mayo plans, combined with all the recent drama with Scott, have created perfect conditions for Hurricane Ashley to cause a lot of damage this afternoon and well into the evening. Here's a look at Ashley's path of destruction so far. At 11 a.m., she landed on Foster Street, moving from O'Murphy's to the Blue Iguana, hitting the place that does the mini pizzas the hardest. The fast-moving human storm is gaining strength right now, gathering flavored vodka shots in her apartment, and she's expected to merge with other high-pressure systems, including BFFs Jessica and Christy, within the next hour. Forecasters predict that some areas could see all 3 grown women obnoxiously shouting, wearing sombreros and fake mustaches, and asking strangers to hold their shoes for some reason as early as 5 p.m. Bars and clubs are bracing themselves, boarding up windows and closing early. Many bartenders prepping for massive cleanup efforts if Ashley touches down and pukes on their dance floors. We have some footage of the destruction that began just hours ago at Senior Tacos. Experts recommend staying inside your house or car until the disturbance passes, avoiding eye contact, and not even getting into it with her right now, okay? The whirlwind might not die down until close to 2:30 a.m. when she's expected to be kicked out of a reggae bar called the Lion's Den for saying something racist. Our thoughts are with everyone in her path.